had to work last night, didn't get home till like 1, and had to go back in today, and she's there till 4.
Yes.
So I'm just getting run ragged here. I'm exhausted.
Oh man,
Haven't shaved, nothing.
that can be exhausting.
Yeah, dude. When you're just like, there's no one there to help you out. Like, I don't know how single moms do it. I really don't.
No, that must be.
Shout out to all the mothers.
I have no idea how my mother did it. Oh, actually, yeah, I do.
No.
She worked like.
Yeah, my mom had 3 of us. My parents were divorced by 7th grade, so that was crazy. I couldn't imagine doing that.
My parents divorced when I was 3, so it was.
Yeah, my little brother was probably about that age. I was in 6th, 7th grade when it happened.
It feels normal when it was like that. Like when, because I don't remember it. Like in my mind.
Yeah, you don't know much better.
Yeah, in my mind, they were always separated. So that shit's normal to me. So my brother, on the other hand, and that shit affected him.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Well, I'll do my cut. Did you hear me slide in your little humming in there in the beginning last week? Did you listen to it or no?
No, I didn't listen to it. I'm gonna have to go listen to it.
I got you. All right, Weird Science. How we doing? This is Brandon and Trevitt. We're coming at you guys with this week's Marvel Minute. We obviously put the vote up to Twitter, and you guys, 40% of you picked Secret Warriors #1, and that is written by Matthew Rosenberg, art team Javier Guerin and Israel Silva.
Yeah.
Of course, that's a Marvel Comics production. Did I nail those names this week or what?
Yes, you did. I think you did.
All right, you want to say hi, McKenna? Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm full-blown dad duty today, so this might consist of a few interruptions. Forewarned, everybody listening. So yeah, we're going to talk about some Secret Warriors 1 here. It's a tie-in to Secret Empire. So, we're going to get into the blurb, give you a quick 2-sentence history about Secret Warriors, and then obviously me and Trevor are going to do what we do and then talk a little bit about this book here this week. I split it up in a little bit of a different order than it's written. So we're going to talk about it in chronological order, even though it jumps all over.
I saw that. That's a good
I'm
idea.
Sorry. Yeah. So we're going to try to talk about it that way.
I just swallowed a bunch of coffee ground.
I will.
Oh.
All right, so we got children interruptions going on. We got coffee grounds in our mouths. This is going to be a crazy one this week, so bear with us here, people. We're going to get into the blurb here while Trevitt recovers from that. I hear you. Watch your show. Thank you. It's tie-in time. You know what that means. An avalanche of books will now relate to Secret Empire. There's no escaping the madness. Well, since we're the crazy ones that read this stuff and tell you whether or not it's worth your time, McKenna, stop, please. I am saying it quiet.
I hear you saying it loud.
Oh, my God. Somebody kill me. All right, so I'm going to tone it down here. I'm getting close to the mic, picking up in the middle of the blurb. Well, since we're the crazy ones that read this stuff and tell you whether or not it's worth your time, we dove headfirst into Secret Warriors #1, an Inhuman-centric tie into Marvel's latest line-wide event. So what's the deal? At least 40% of you are asking. Stay tuned, stay off that skip button, and find out who these warriors are and exactly what they're up to. All right, so let's get into our 2-sentence history. For anybody that doesn't know the Secret Warriors, and then, we'll share our feelings or our knowledge on them before we get into it here. A group of underground SHIELD agents are basically what the Secret Warriors are. They're formerly headed by Nick Fury, currently run in this volume by Daisy Johnson, it looks like. That tends to pop up in and around Marvel event comic time. They usually work in the shadowy background to take down Hydra forces or SHIELD during the frequent times that they're overtaken by other outside influences, such as, in this case, Hydra. Have you ever read any Secret Warriors stuff before or no?
I've read a
Yes.
few issues. I have the collected editions, but I haven't gotten to them yet.
Yeah. See, I'm a Secret
But I have
Warriors
mine.
virgin here. So like we were talking beforehand. You said like you know, some people were outraged because it's not, you know, the traditional Secret Warriors team, whatever that means, you know.
Yeah. Well, I know that Quake was a part of the original Secret Warriors team, and so was Manifold from
Yeah.
Avengers, and Nick Fury led it, and the couple of the when I was flipping through the collected editions, I was in the second volume, and I read the David Marquez issue, and then like a couple of issues after that because I just got sucked into the story, and it was pretty enjoyable. So
Yeah. Like I said, I'm a Secret Warriors virgin, so I don't have any ties to it, you know, and that's where I'm a little bit of a hypocrite when it comes to Marvel in that way, because when they change something, I'm one of those, not that I get upset, but I really don't follow the new book too much. But here is one of those cases I don't care, especially if it's something that's decent and grabs my attention. So you know, again, a quick note, we're kind of going to go over the book a little bit out of order because it consists of a lot of time jumps, which doesn't really make it hard to follow. It's done very well, but sanity when we talk about it to keep things straight. You know, we're gonna go in order here, kind of reorganizing how the book's written. So when we're talking about it, that's how things are going down here. So first part we'll discuss is before the takeover happens. Chronologically, the first part consists in Annapolis with Captain America, Sharon Carter, Dum Dum Dugan's crew, Quake, some of her crew, and all that company as they discuss kind of like, you know, events going down with what am I mistaken in like they're talking about Chitauri and all that shit?
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm flipping through it right now, trying to get to the page. Oh, this is
Yeah. Some of you guys tweeted at me this week. You know, your daughter needs to be featured more. Well, you're getting a big dose of her this week. She's going to be all over the place. You'll hear her in the background. So, about to deal with it. I'll mute her best I can.
I think
so.
It's
Yeah, they're talking about the Chitauri and stuff.
I think it's when they're sending them. I think they're planning the mission where they're sending them to the Baltimore Harbor.
I got you. Yeah, because Quake is kind of, they don't really lead on to what her original mission is, but she's kind of pissed Cap's taking her off what she was doing to go to this new place.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just really a one-page, you know, discussion, but the next part that takes place chronologically is Quake and her crew, not yet the Secret Warriors, really just her crew of SHIELD agents, kind of like TV-centric based crew, some of them anyway, as they go to this Baltimore Harbor mission. And it looks like they're just being flat out ambushed by this quote unquote wrecking crew.
Yeah.
Which, is this again the goddamn dude with the wrecking ball? What's his name? I always forget.
I forget his name too. I mean, I know the wrecker.
We just talked about him like last week in the other one.
And I've read him like in like Avengers, like Bendis Avengers and stuff. Like I've seen him in stories, but I just can never remember his name. But I always remember the wrecker.
We're bad.
They would just
We're bad comic fans right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was also in Black Bolt. Like the dude's fucking everywhere. But anyway, his name will come to me like when we're almost done with the book. I'm just gonna shout it out here randomly. But anyway, they're all taking out these SHIELD agents, and they do kind of mention they're being killed. I don't think all of them get killed. Kind of one of the highlights of this exchange is Yo-Yo. She's one of the people from the Agents of SHIELD TV show.
Is she?
Yeah, she pulls Quake out of the building to save the leader, essentially, because everybody else is just going down left and right.
I've never watched. Well, I mean, I've watched the first season, but I never fully like watched Pat. Was she in the first season, or am I just
No,
totally forgetting stuff?
she's kind of, yeah. Last year she popped in, or maybe it was this year.
Okay,
Uh, and Quake's obviously, the
she's
main,
main
pretty
character.
much the main character. Yeah. But anyway, so Quake is the only member of the crew kind of able to get outside this building and escape. She's ultimately confronted by the entirety of the wrecking crew and just brings
Okay,
the building down on top of them in kind of a pretty badass move.
I got his name now. I looked it
What's
up
the
on Wikipedia.
motherfucker's
His name is Thunderball.
Thunderbolt? See, I'm thinking
Thunderball.
of a different guy.
And then
Okay,
the
I'm
guy
thinking
in
of
the
a different
white
guy.
is Pile
Go ahead.
Driver. The names are just
Okay, yeah.
they're kind of ridiculous. It's Wrecker, Thunderball, Pile Driver, and Bulldozer.
Okay, yeah. All those dudes are making up the wrecking crew right now.
Yeah.
Quake brings the building down on the wrecking crew and possibly any, shield agents still, hanging on to life in that fucking building.
Yeah. That was
But,
crazy. Like I didn't expect it to go down like that. Like them all getting murdered.
Yeah, she just flat out, leads unknowingly her crew into just a murder pit.
Yeah.
That's what happens here, and she's the only one left. She brings the building down on the bad guys and gets the hell out of Baltimore, because this only reinforces the weird science theory of nothing good happens in Baltimore. Stay the fuck out of there.
It's true.
Unless you're going to an Orioles game or the Inner Harbor right on the water.
I went to a 4-game. I went to a 3-game Red Sox series. They played the Orioles 3 days in a row. And I was there for 4 days, and it's a really not a good safe place.
Like if you walk down just the wrong street for too long in Baltimore, you're in some shady territory. I lived near there for a long time.
Oh yeah.
The next part that takes place chronologically is after all this shit has gone down. Quake is on a train that's Brooklyn bound, and she ends up kind of having a secret meeting with Collison. And they try to determine who or what is behind all this latest Shield takeover nonsense. They drop Cap's name, but Collison obviously is hesitant to believe Cap is the one really behind all this right now. And he mentions, let's go kind of find out what we can and reconvene in 72 hours at the Chipped Cup.
I think she was suspicious of Captain America from the get. Like right when he suggested that mission, she knew there was something up.
Yeah, she has her suspicions about Cap. Collison, I think, just doesn't want to believe it because they write him like directly from the movies. Cap is essentially his idol,
Yeah. And I don't know what happened.
So he's trying to find out information to disprove. I think like what Quake is thinking, and Quake's trying to find out information to further prove her theory.
Yeah. What happened?
And they say, well, let's find out what we can find out. No, they didn't. That's at the end of the book, like in the previews, one of the tie-ins, and I want to say it might be fucking Deadpool, is like what happened to Coulson.
I was wondering what, like,
the last page.
Is he brainwashed? Like, do you think he's like, or he's being held captive, like one or the other? Like,
no, I think yeah, he's probably captured right now because he's a longtime Shield agent. I feel like he has some sort of shit in his brain or been programmed to withstand some standard Hydra brainwashing.
Yeah, mental attacks. A lot of Marvel, like most Marvel characters do, and like Shield people. But I mean, I know most of the Shield people that are Hydra now because they walked, they have, what's that guy, Dr. Faustus,
he brainwashed them all kind of. So that's really like the prequel part of the story that's interspersed throughout the book. And now we're discussing the after takeover part. So this is with Secret Empire in full effect. And we pick up where actually the book's ironically starts with Quake sitting at the Chipped Cup, awaiting the meeting we just discussed, sitting over a cup of coffee.
That's after the train, right? Like, they go on their missions to find out stuff, and then they meet.
Yeah, this is the 72 hours later. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was a great scene. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this a lot. And you see, like, she doesn't have any of her shield gear on. Like, she doesn't have her gauntlets on, which is why her fingers and shit are taped. Because when she doesn't have that stuff on, using her powers kind of fucks with her bones and shit.
Yeah, it causes microfractures because of the
So
tremors.
yeah, so she's trying to go deep undercover without any, you know, recognizable gives. But these two shield agents anyway, also in the chipped cup. Currently brainwashed recognizer, and they're like, you got to come with us. They're honey. And
I love the interaction.
She don't take too kindly to that. Yeah.
The whole conversation, like the dialogue is really good and it's funny, and I love the back and forth, you know, like he's talking to her, but then he'll like kind of ask himself questions, but have the guy at the bar answer, like, you know, when he's talking about where the fuck is this place, Jeff? You know, like,
Yeah, at first you don't really get the impression that these dudes are bad shield agents, but then this dude starts straight up eating sugar packets, and you're like, that's some pre-crime bullshit right there. That dude is bad. He's got bad written all over him.
when I was reading the notes and when I saw that, like when you wrote that, I just died laughing.
Yeah, that's some scary shit. You see someone eating sugar packets, get the fuck away from him.
Yeah, there's something wrong with that person.
So yeah, she throws like coffee in his face. She's like, here, take some coffee with your fucking sugar. She doesn't actually say, but she should have. You know, uses her powers on the other dude and takes off. And then we pick up on this like this this Hydra, currently like all Hydra people in this brigade traveling down a New Jersey highway.
I don't know if they're like actual Hydra soldiers or they're shield soldiers in Hydra uniforms or
it's weird because or they're just like regular because the way the main dude they highlight like in this shield, I keep calling it fucking shield, in this Hydra brigade,
the young guy, right?
Yeah, the dude with like the buzzed up red hair, like he acts like a total asshole. Like you get the impression he's not super trained. Like, is this dude brainwashed for Hydra? What the fuck's going on with this guy? Because to me, like, if you're a Hydra soldier that's brainwashed, you're not running through the woods, like, trying to take off. No. You're not, like, you're not being as sarcastic and just comical as this dude is. You know what I'm saying? It threw me off a little bit. Like, didn't affect my enjoyment of it all. But I'm like, if everybody's drinking funky water and everybody's, quote-unquote, brainwashed, this dude's acting like a brainwashed asshole, you know?
Yeah, he's like, he's forced to be there and he doesn't want to be there. Like,
like you can be like brainwashed for Hydra, but it doesn't help your intelligence level. So you know, Quake pulls we don't know it's Quake quite off the bat. You get the sense she pulls the tactical decision to drop like a tree on the first truck in this brigade to stop the rest of them from progressing, and then starts flipping these fucking trucks. Some badass moves.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. She's pretty powerful.
Yeah, she is. You know, just bringing down the fucking earth around all these dudes and throwing them off their game. So they go just scattering, especially when they're the two quote unquote, you know, guests she called along show up. Be obviously, you know, from the cover of the issue, Miss Marvel and Moon Girl with her companion Devil Dino. I've never read any Moon Girl besides in IVX, you know, when she popped up in there.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But I didn't know her dinosaur. I mean, I don't know what I expected, but her dinosaur is straight up eating dudes.
I know.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, he just eats people. All right, he's a dinosaur for sure.
The main dude that you were just talking about, you know, who's acting like an asshole, the guy behind him with the black hair gets eaten because you hear the scrunch.
Yeah, he just disappears off panel. He goes the opposite way that Boomerang went, where Boomerang's no, he goes the same way Boomerang went with his feet just laying there, you know. Side a dinosaur. So we got shit going down everywhere, especially when Miss Marvel, blows up to huge size, is taking people out, the dinosaurs clearing house. So they take care of all this Hydra nonsense. In some cool action shots and panels.
Really
and
good,
then
too.
yeah, I liked it a lot. The art is pretty cool throughout the book. And then they end up finding out what this whole brigade was for, and they rescue. And is it Inferno? I'm so bad with these Inhuman names.
Yeah, it's Inferno.
Yeah, it's Inferno and a few other random guys. I don't think they name along with him, do they?
No, and I don't know who they are either.
Yeah, I don't
seen that. I
either.
mean, this guy looks like a weird, like hulking version of Drax with like an alien
Yeah.
head.
I thought it was Drax I was convinced it was like, I'm like, this is like Killer Croc and Drax had a baby. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's exactly what it looks like.
It does. It really does.
I've never seen them before, either one of those two people before. It's like they did like 2 red shirts in Inferno,
Yeah.
like a New Human.
Yeah. So they rescue like 3 Inhumans. They join along with the rest of this crew and use the GPS system, from what I take, to track down where this brigade was taking these Inhumans they rescued to. In some pretty cool background information from the main Secret Empire book, we find out the Hydra internment camp is in New Jersey, or one of them is anyway. And that's what this GPS was leading them all to. And they decide to ambush this place, because the whole point for Quake, essentially this whole point for this issue of this comic, is to rescue who we find out is Karnak, because they need Karnak to turn the tide of the battle, so to speak.
I found out a few interesting facts. Like after I read this book, I read a couple of reviews, and I found out that Quake was never really an Inhuman. Like, that's technically not her origin, but I guess right here they're like retconning her origin and making her part of the Inhumans. And one little thing is, I never knew that Karnak never went through Terrigenesis. Like, he has actually no Inhuman powers.
Yeah, he's still he's still considered an Inhuman, but he's like refused to undergo the process, but still has powers somehow. I don't know how all that works.
I know.
I read the first issue of his comic because Ellis was writing it, and I wanted to check it out. But then it was like such a shitty schedule. I just gave up following it.
Yeah, super delayed. I heard.
Yeah, like 6 issues, or even less than that, came out over a year and a half. Essentially, I was like, yeah, I'm not.
That's insanity.
It's like a Batman Dark Knight 3 fucking release schedule, even worse.
I know he has like superhuman strength and reflexes, because Inhumans are naturally born.
His main power is basically he knows every weakness. Like, he knows the weaknesses to everybody. He can basically win any fight.
Which is pretty cool that like he learned that technique. Like, he's a badass character.
It's a crazy power, crazy thing to know about. So that's what like the Secret Warriors' entire purpose was, and the twist to all this is that when they get to Karnak and they break in this base, shit's going down all around them, and Quake basically finds out from Karnak that he doesn't want to go with them at first glance, until
like, I got food,
basically
water,
he runs into Moon Girl. Yeah, he runs into Moon Girl and he totally changes his mind. Which is weird, because I don't know, he didn't see the giant dinosaur roaming around the entire time until the little 3-foot Moon Girl came walking up to him. He's like, oh, okay, now I'm down with you guys,
Yeah.
And that's where the book ends. It's really weird. I was like, this is the last page. This is a weird fucking ending to the book.
I just don't get his attitude about not caring about being there. Like, he's like, he's like, I got a bed. He's like, I got food. He's like, nothing's wrong.
I know he's anti. He's anti-fighting. He's basically like an Inhuman monk. Like, if he won't fight if he doesn't have to. So I don't know if he just thinks like this will run its course, so I'm not going to do anything, or like I get the aspect of I'm tired of fighting, but there's a difference between being tired of fighting and being just a straight up, prisoner in an internment camp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a weird wink, wink, nod, nod. Oh, well, the Inhumans are being rounded up into internment camps, but we're feeding them and taking care of them with beds, so it's okay.
He's all. I mean, he seems like he's lost all hope because he's like, my people are going extinct. He's like, the country's falling apart. He's like, I got a bed. He's like,
Yeah.
the rest is inconsequential.
Yeah, and it was weird, but that he said his people are going extinct because his people just exploded in population. The mutants were going extinct. So I didn't understand that part either.
Oh, because Medusa got rid of the Terrigen cloud, so there's no more.
There's no more new ones, but there were still a whole shitload of ones, that were just made. That was like the last 2 years, That's the end of the book. It ends really weird, but up until that point, it was a great great read, not great weird. The art was a little weird though on that last page. Like everyone just kind of looked a little off, and like the
at the bottom
positioning of everything, like coming at you, just looked strange.
Yeah,
but other than that, I like the art. Overall, I would as far as buy, borrow, forget goes. Surprisingly for me, I guess I would rate this a buy because, if you're definitely into Secret Empire, this is a worthwhile tie-in for you because, it spotlights the plight of the Inhumans, which was so far not really touched upon in the main book. The story's just a clever little spy tale, with twist turns and back and forth. It spotlights just really the most popular Inhumans that they want. Miss Marvel, Moon Girl, Quake. And has a little humor, a little intrigue, little action, so a little bit of everything. Well, like we said, the art's damn good, except the little wonkiness at the end. And I'm not personally into Secret Empire. I'm reading it. I'm not enjoying it, but it's a cool Inhuman title that I didn't think I'd have any interest in. That is intriguing so far to me. Especially it not being a traditional action-filled superhero book or like something I watched on TV as a kid or something extremely weird, which are my pull list books. You know what I'm saying? It's something different for me, and for all that, it would just be a buy. How about you?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah,
it's totally a buy. I mean, I've read a lot of Inhumans books, but this one has a really fun, interesting take. Like, there's a bunch of Inhumans that are reluctant to find themselves together because they're mostly new Inhumans.
Yeah.
But
because all the like royal people are in space. You're reading that book, right?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Black Bolt's in prison, but the rest of the crew Medusa and all them went off planet, right?
Yeah. They all went to the Kree homeworld to find some ancient like relic that's supposed to help them thrive or something, like some kind of new path for the Inhumans. But Black Bolt's supposed to be there, but Maximus swapped him out. But this is really interesting because it's a different way to see the Inhumans on Earth, and it's not going to focus on the royal family, and I almost find this more interesting than Secret Empire itself. Like I like Secret Empire.
I know, I'm right there with you, to be honest. Yeah. I like this better than Secret Empire with art and everything.
Yeah, with art and everything. Like Secret Empire is a cool idea, but so far it's fallen a little flat with me. Like I try to like it a lot more than it's actually worth. Like it's about a 6.5, 7 at best. But this is fun. Like this is real fun, and I hear good things about Matthew Rosenberg. Like people talk really well about his Kingpin book. Yeah. So
he's writing that too. Okay.
Yeah, he's writing that too, and he's going to be handling the Venomverse book, and he does really well with dialogue. I like how he switches the story around, so you're like in the past, in the present, in the past, in the present, but it works beautifully. Like I don't find it like a pain in the ass to read. Like sometimes stories when they like go back and forth like that, it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. But
this was easy to follow.
Yeah, it's easy to follow. He did it really well. And Javier Garron, or however you pronounce his name, I assume it's Garron. I don't know, but his art's great. And he did cool. The majority of IVX, and I don't think it looked this good. It looks really, really sharp and very, very colorful. The colors are great. I like how it's faded when you go back in the past. It's like very bright in the present.
It was a nice surprise for the week. So you guys out there, you picked well. You made us happy. So
Yeah, most definitely.
stay tuned Monday. You know what? We got our Monday and Tuesday Get Fresh Crew radio gigs. We got our Get Fresh Crew radio gigs on the Mixler station. And then we always put up the poll Monday night for you guys. So retweet that, get the word out, and pick the book you want us to talk about for next week's edition of the Marvel Minute. But that's it for me and Trevitt. If you're looking for us, you can find me on Twitter at bmer3660. Find you, man.
I find me on Twitter at Afronatics.
All right. I got a special guest going to sign us off. Say,
Party's over.
all right, guys, you have a good week, and we'll talk to you next week. Later.
That was great.